Welcome back to Inside Access. Let's take a look at some big storylines for Pitt football. They're hoping Eli Holstein is healthy as he returns as QB1 for the Panthers. Pitt started the season 7-0 last year under Holstein. And they get some more offensive firepower back in the backfield as All-American Desmond Reid returns. Reid averaged almost 155 all-purpose yards per game last year, good for 5th in FBS. And Pitt opens the season against Duquesne, but you can bet they have that backyard brawl circled on September 13th. Speaking of Desmond Reid, our friends at ESPN.com, well, we got a vote on the top 10 college football running backs, and Desmond did make the list. You got 3 guys from the ACC, Isaac Brown from Louisville there at 5. There's Des at 7. Jamal Haynes at number 9. I think that's a little low. And you know what? To talk about it, I want a rebuttal here from Des Reid. We welcome him into the show. Des, thank you so much for joining us. All right, look, I think Hale and I both had you definitely ranked much higher than you were at the end of that survey. So tell us, make your case. Why are you a top 5 running back in the entire country?
My film speaks for itself. You feel me? I don't like to really talk about, myself. But my film speaks for itself. And I'm still, trying to get better. I'm trying to, showcase what I really can do this year coming up. So.
Well, Des, I love that you want to let your game do the talking, because I'm going to go out on a limb and guess coming up through South Florida, playing football as a kid in high school, and then having to work your way up to Power 4 level football in college, a lot of people have probably dismissed you because of your size. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess some defensive guys have talked some smack to you before games. How much fun do you have putting it on film, demoralizing them over the course of a game, and proving those guys wrong?
It's very fun. I had to do it all my whole life. So, it's very fun doing it. Going out there. My first year playing Power 5. A lot of people, that doubted me. Its first game, came up. I did what I did, and people got a little sneak peek of what they was gonna get during the season. But at the end of the day, people still gonna doubt me. But every team we played, they'll talk stuff to me a couple times, try to get in my head. But, as the game kept going, I talked my trash a little back. They respect me, all the players that I played against, they respect me. They show love after the game. And, they just, it's football at the end of the day. That's what players do. They talk, they talk trash. But, it's fun at the end of the day.
Des, I know the game within the game is the trash talk that happens between the defenders and obviously you talking back. Can you, we're on TV, all right? So can you share some of the worst trash talk maybe somebody has said to you that lit a fire under you, in which you were like, it's about to get real right now, and you went on and had a huge game?
I don't really have no specific ones because, everybody pretty much say the same thing to me. Always little, all that, So I really don't have no specific one, but if I had to choose one, it was probably West Virginia game. That's a rivalry game. So the energy was very high. It was a lot of stuff being said, that I can't repeat. But yeah, I'll probably say that game there. A lot of trash talking was going on.
Yep. We need to keep our broadcast license here. So talking about anything that gets said in the backyard brawl is probably off limits. I was at that game, and that was a lot of fun. You had a heck of a game. You guys started 7-0, and it was so nice. And then injuries and other things kind of built up as the season went along. But one of the things that Cade Bell, your offensive coordinator, kept saying to me is, I want to be able to go faster. I want to be able to go faster, and we're not quite there yet. As you guys saw what it was supposed to take, and obviously you've been with Coach Bell for a while, so you saw it at Western Carolina before this. As everybody kind of got used to what you were doing last year, and now you've had an off season, or at least through spring, to kind of get your bodies in shape for it, how much faster can this offense go compared to what you were able to do last year?
Oh, we go way faster. I went through the same process at my other school at Western Carolina. My freshman year we got there, we was moving fast, but we wasn't moving at the speed we really wanted to, that we could go. And the next year came up, my sophomore year, and the offense looked totally different. We was going real fast. So this year, that's our main goal. We're trying to make sure we get on the ball fast, make sure we line up fast, try to keep the defense on their heels. So that's our main focus going into the fall camp, and going into the season. That's what we really been working on, especially during the spring.
What about for you? Because in that first question and answer, you said this was only the beginning for you, that there's much more left for you to prove and to do. So how much better can you be from what we saw a year ago?
Way better. I didn't play every game last year, due to injuries. So my main focus this year for myself was to really try to take care of my body, find ways to, better myself with that. Going through that process, it's not an easy process, but that's my main focus going into this year, trying to find ways to, be there for my team and make sure I'm available.
Well, one of the other guys who was sort of banged up as the year went along that was so crucial to that 7-0 start was your quarterback, Eli Holstein. How have you seen him evolve now that he's got a year of starting under his belt and hopefully is probably a little bit more close to 100% health?
Really, because he's a young quarterback, Eli, but he's a dog. Last year, the offense wasn't really quite where we wanted to be. We looked good some games, but, the offense wasn't quite there. And, going into the spring, Eli made sure, the offense got together. We have a lot of meetings. He trying to make sure that the offense is way better than it was last year. He also trying to make sure he do better than what he did, and he makes sure he's available. He's stay in the training room. He just trying to be the leader, and that's the quarterback spot. You have to be a leader, and Eli, he's doing that.
You guys do have one of the best quarterback running back tandems returning to the ACC, but I think there may be some question marks because of how the season ended for you guys a year ago. So what do you feel like people should expect out of Pitt headed into this season?
A total different team. We got some new pieces. So now we really get to do what we want to. A couple of the players, that we had last year. They got used to the offense. Brung in a couple different O-line. Got a lot of receivers. So we have a lot of depth now too. So, it's gonna be a total different team. We still gonna have that dog in us like we do every game. But just expect a new different team. That's all I can say.
All right, we look forward to watching it unfold, especially the backyard brawl. Can't wait to hear what those conversations were like afterward. Thanks for joining us, Des.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks,
Thank y'all
Des.
for having me. You have a good day.